Hello friends and good afternoon. Today we have an afternoon video. Sorry, it was a busy day. So as you can see here, we are dealing with a garbage disposal today. Here is the DIY video I promised you guys. So as you can see, the first thing I start with is getting yourself a little bucket, a foldable bucket to put under your P-trap so you can loosen those nuts and not make a big mess under your cabinets. As you can see here, we're just loosening it up, taking it apart, make sure you drain out the P-trap, and then maybe leave the bucket for a couple seconds more, as you might get some residual water from the line in the wall. And up here we are now taking apart the garbage disposal. Make sure that when you take it down, you're having one hand on it so it doesn't come crashing down to the cabinet. I've done it before and had to fix the dishwasher line because of that. But as you can see here, we disconnected the dishwasher line. Now we're working on the electrical part. This took me a while. It was honestly a older electrical jacket, and I was just trying not to pull it too hard and rip the wire. There wasn't a lot of slack on it, so the electrical part did take me longer than it usually does. But yeah, I'm not an electrician, so I did the best I could, and I cut back on the wire too at the end, just because I wanted it to be all even to look cleaner. But yeah, my client's probably gonna need an electrician to come look at their home. I'm not a pro when it comes to electrical, so just know that the jacket looked old and didn't want it to fall apart when I was disconnecting from the disposal. So we are just still reworking the electrical line. Like I said, this took me a lot longer than it usually does, but we pulled it out of the garbage disposal and then just try to untangle it to make a perfect connection, or clean connection. And here you go. So the 3/4 InSinkErator, it no longer has the connect to black to black and white to white, and then screw down to neutral. Now you have to connect it to these little push-in circuits or pushing clip, and then push that clip into the disposal. So it was a little confusing at first. I had to play with it, trying to understand it, but it wasn't too hard. And after a little trial and error, I got it to connect correctly. And so right here you see we are working on the strainer now. Took apart the strainer, put some plumber's putty on it, and as you can see, pressed it down on the sink. Make sure that you have something on top pushing it down so that this process is easier. I put the garbage disposal on top most of the time, and then line up the screws with the top of the strainer, and all you gotta do is clip in that ring after and screw it down. And here we are screwing it down. Make sure you do it in a clockwise or counterclockwise rotation, or skip one. But the point is, you want them all evenly to be screwed down so you don't have a chance of having a leak in one side of it due to uneven pressure on the sink. And just working it now, tightening it down. All right, so here we were opening, or getting the other garbage disposal on top ready. It took a little bit. Like I said, this was the first time I had worked the new InSinkErator with the pop-out dishwasher plug. Dope. Let me tell you how much easier it is. It was dope. So here we connect the electrical line. Like I said, it was a push connect, so it was fairly easy once we got the electrical line worked on. And now we're just mounting the garbage disposal or food disposal, whatever you call it, onto the sink, lining everything up, and tightening it down, moving it into place so it's correctly lined up with the P-trap drain line. And there you go, just again lining it up. And here we twisted it by hand, so I always use channel locks to get it to lock into place. You'll hear like a click or a little smacking sound once you get it exactly where it needs to be. But here you go. Garbage disposal is fully mounted, so now we're just working on getting the drain line connected. This client had a 2-part sink connected to one drain line, so it was a little tougher than what would have been one sink. But, we got everything lined up, made sure that it was, that there wasn't going to be any chance of leakage. So, make sure you get the pipe all the way in, and then compress it well. Make sure, again, with these nuts, you don't want to tighten too much, but you want to make sure you're tying well enough. So I always do hand tighten, and then like a half a turn, maybe a full turn, depending how much I tighten by hand, by channel locks, and that way I haven't had any leaks. Always have the pipe dope on hand now, just because it makes it easier with P-traps, especially when they have that metal nut. I've seen that once I put pipe dope, I've had 0 callbacks, and sometimes when just doing the hand tightening with no pipe dope, I think it's like 1 out of 8, 1 out of 5 that I've had a callback. And most of the time it was just tightening it a couple months later, but I guess the vibrations, the garbage disposal eventually loosen it up. So with a little dope, it keeps it in place like some glue. All right, guys, well, we're just tightening it down now, cleaning up the area. And that is the install of a garbage disposal. Not too hard, but it does take you some time and knowledge, as everything in plumbing. I feel like plumbing isn't the hardest to understand, but it takes time. It takes years to master, and years to master at a pretty quick speed. And this video was, I think, doubled or maybe tripled in speed, so obviously I'm not going to put a garbage disposal in 7 minutes. I think it actually took me an hour and 15. Again, I struggle with the electrical part, so it wasn't done as quickly as I usually get them done. But that's the service we provide, and since it's a flat rate fee, we ate it, and we just provided everything that our client needed for the garbage disposal, tested it, and then sent them the invoice, gave them a call, let them know everything was working great. Have a good one, guys. Bye.